I'm a human being.
X because, and I'll probably use it as long as the situation that produced it exists.
My story is this.
Tell you now why it does. And even in my partner's words, I want you to hear this because you are remembering who you are. And that is an amazing experience. It is the epiphany of remembrance of God inside.
I choose not to state my government.
You remember your
That's what
power.
I'm labeled by. Black, male, about 5'6", 138 pounds. And I'm labeled a criminal. I'm just talking about a systematic approach to justify injustice acts by cops, the prison system, the county jails, the pullovers, the arrests, everything, the violations of just a human right. That's my whole point with all of this. Some of y'all gonna disagree. I'm not talking to you. To as many people that are awake, to as many people that know it's not just the cops, it's the whole system of it. Because you have good cops, but it's a corrupt system. Cops are the only ones that cannot be penalized. As soon as you voice your opinion, you become a threat to them. It's not justified. The fees, the penalties, the towing the truck on a free road, like, nah, you stopping people from living. You stopping people from living that are trying to get ahead. You're stopping men trying to do for their family. And you know you're doing this. You know intentionally cut off the arms, legs. This has to stop. This has to stop. I'm a hard-working man. I love to work. I love to do what I do. Lord knows I've been trying to take care of this ticket situation since I left. I did take care of it. But as I was leaving the state, they told me on top of the tickets that I paid off, which was $250 a piece, on top of court costs, that I had to pay a $500 reinstatement fee just so I could get my license back, which I would have to pay another $35. Like, where's all this money coming from? Like, I must be rich. I'm trying to get an unemployment check from y'all because I didn't work about 10 long years straight. I ain't took unemployment. I tried to get unemployment. Give y'all all my information. You told me, y'all government offices told me. I checked with y'all. I called in weekly to make sure. Y'all failed me every step of the way, just for 5 weeks later to say I can't get shit.
Into the African world and being recognized and accepted. My personal problem is never solved as long as the problem is not solved for all of our people in this country.
Right? Going through my own issue. So what? But where I did my part, you failed your part. All the while I'm getting pulled over. So if you ain't got no money because no money is coming in, now you're getting pulled over. You constantly getting pulled over. You still gotta pay your bills. You got a kid to feed. Really, I do. But because of you, you're getting pulled over. So now I'm without a job. So I have a valid license, but now I ain't got it. So you get penalized for not renewing your tax. Told my car. So I ain't got no car. I ain't got the money to get it out. I have to leave the car there. I have to chalk it up. This is the bullshit. But everybody's going through their own issues. This is what y'all doing. You constantly pulling us over. We like to. You instigate. You hate how I talk, but I'm tired of the bullshit. I'm tired of it. I don't bother you. None of us bother you. None of us bother you. If there's no accident, we don't need you pulling us over for how we drive. If we ain't ran nobody off the road, we don't need you pulling us over for how we drive. We have situations, these economics, they stink to begin with. So you cannot keep penalizing people. And it's too many of us in there. I'm talking to the people.
As long as there is a need to protest and struggle and fight against the injustices that our people are involved in this country.
Point and ask that charges be brought against the United States for its treatment of American Negroes.
Oh, yes. As I pointed out when I was during my traveling, that nations look, African nations and Asian nations and Latin American nations look very hypocritical when they stand up in the United Nations condemning the racist practices of South Africa and that which is practiced by Portugal and Angola, and saying nothing in the UN about the racist practices that are manifest every day against Negroes in this society. Even in South Africa, those Africans aren't faced with bayonets and aren't faced with police dogs. I would be not a man. If I was in a position to bring it in front of the United Nations and didn't do so, I wouldn't be a man.
We the ones who's scared of all this. And the longer we keep being scared, the more they're going to keep imposing it. There's no law for police. How can you make a law and be lawless? Corruption produces corruption, absolutely. To all you good officers out there, I just hope y'all wake up and stop sacrificing your humanity. Stop sacrificing your humanity for your job. I'm not saying there's not assholes out there that probably need to be set aside, but helped out. Helped out. Not treated like an animal. Not treated like a criminal beforehand. Not treated guilty beforehand. Not in handcuffs beforehand. Not taken out of their daily life routine beforehand. Having some type of cohesiveness with the tow truck, with the bonds company, with all these different agencies to get cosign signatures just so you can bind people together and tax them all. That is so disgusting.
I don't see why that should be controversial. I think that if white people found themselves the victim of the same kind of brutality that black people in this country face, and they saw that the government was either unwilling or unable to protect them, that the intelligence on the part of the whites would make them get some rifles and shotguns and protect themselves. Now, Negroes are developing some kind of intellectual maturity too, and they can see that having waited upon the government to protect them has been a wait that has been in vain. So any of them who live in areas where the government is not able to do its job, then we do have to get together and do a job of protecting ourselves.
Disgusting what you do, and you know it. Just for money? Come on, damn. Let people live. You already got everything else. You just want to entertain yourself? What? You got everything else. You don't even let us come to where you at. You got everything else. Leave us the fuck alone. Please, people. I got some literature posted. Check it out. I have a court hearing, and I posted my own bond. But since I ain't have a cosigner, since the second officer that just came on the scene out of the blue, that detained me, chose 2 hours later to say that it was obstruction of public servant. So it's a criminal charge just because that's what he needed to define me as, a criminal. So when I go to court and when I go to jail and bond myself out, if I don't have a cosigner, that $200 that I spent, $200, like I could just give that to y'all, is out the window, and I have a warrant for my arrest. So as soon as I get down to court, you can arrest me again, even before I get in there, just to put me through a long ass process on cold hard ass benches. Not guilty, mind you. And got all these different divisions inside your one facility that's concrete all the way around, and nobody knows what goes on, and everybody ignores who is trying to get some answers because we don't know why the fuck we there. Like animals, hands behind our back. You got nasty ass employees talking to us any kind of way and wonder why our responses be what they are. You left me in the jail cell from 7 in the morning to 7 at night without even taking a shit or some water. I'm a human being. I'm a human being.
X, because, and I'll probably use it as long as the situation that produced it exists. Well, I find that to say you're going to lead something creates a lot of hostility, division, jealousy, and envy. This is your interpretation of what I said. And America had actually tricked many of them into a hands-off policy by giving them the impression that she was honestly trying to do something to solve the problem. It's impossible for the United States government to solve the race problem. It's impossible. Mention anything about working toward integration. They haven't even got integration right here in New York City. You have worse integration problems in the North than they have in the South. So if it doesn't work if you can't bring about integration in New York City as international, cosmopolitan, up-to-date as it's supposed to be, you will never get integration anywhere else in the country. We will work with any groups, organizations, or leaders in any way, as long as it's genuinely designed to get results.
Does your new beard have any religious significance?
No, not particularly, but I do think that you'll find black people in America, as they strive to throw off the shackles of mental colonialism, will also throw off the shackles of cultural colonialism, begin to reflect desires of their own, with standards of their own.